This is my current favorite EDC. It is a Spyderco PPT, and just to give you the specs, this is right out of the catalog. It's 4 1/4 closed, 7 3/8 overall. It's got a 3 5/32 blade with a 2 11/16 cutting edge. It's CPM S30V, and it weighs 5.3 ounces. And this one Spyderco has made in Taiwan. Like I say, it's not a U.S. made blade, but it doesn't matter to me. Just for those who want this in metric, it's 108 millimeters closed, 187 millimeters overall, 80 millimeter blade, a 68 millimeter edge, and 150 grams. Alright, this blade is a modified Wharncliffe blade. It's got just a little bit of belly. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got just a little bit of belly. It's not a true Wharncliffe blade. It's a liner lock. It's actually a massive. It's not. It's more of a frame lock. If you can look, the liner is actually the left-hand frame, and they've got a scale on the outside, but it locks up tight. And you can see how they've got kind of a finger coil where the liner goes, and your finger actually locks into it. And where it locks into it, it creates pressure on the lock. And as long as your finger's there, I would say it's just about impossible for this to fail. Like I say, and it's a massive knife. Some people don't like knives. It's heavy. But the way it's made, it's got a really deep pocket clip, so that when you put it into your pocket, it disappears. So I mean, this wide honking blade comes with a little like a little keychain bob, a little lanyard. It would, you can take it off if you want, but I find that it's not in the way. It's also kind of helpful because the knife is so deep in the pocket. A lot of times I can find this, and when it sits in my hand, that's out of the way. But I can find that bob and help pull it out of my pocket. It's got a massive Spyderco hole. It's actually fairly, and I've not adjusted the pivot, but it's got a tight pivot on it, which I actually like. I've had some knives come up in my pocket before that the pivot was too loose. This one, with the deployment hole, it snaps open and it locks. You don't have to worry about it. It's got jimping on the back. When this knife was made, it's pretty much made as a self-defense knife. It's it's a slasher for sure. I mean, you could do some serious damage in a self-defense situation. The way it's made is, almost got a massive coil here. Like I say, your finger locks in. You can come up if you need to, but in a hammer grip, like I say, it's just a wonderful knife. Now for EDC chores, full flat ground. What I did, I put a convex edge on it. It wasn't a zero grind. It was a full flat ground knife with a micro bevel, traditional micro bevel that could be easily maintained on a stone. But I like convex edges. I put a convex edge on it. The scales, you'll look at the scales and you'll be kind of wondering if they're comfortable, because it's G10 and they've textured a G10. It kind of looks like trying to think of his name, I can't right now, but like I say, these textured G10 scales, they're actually very comfortable. you've got all kinds of purchase. Your hands aren't going to slip off even when they're wet, and even with the texturing, it's comfortable. With, they're smooth enough that it doesn't hurt your hand. People look at it and won't think that it's a good EDC knife, but I mean it really is. Like I say, it's quality steel. Like I say, S30B. A bit of print here. Magazine, one of my wife's magazines. Doing this at an angle, but as you can see, it's very sharp. But I find that the modified Wharncliffe blade makes a great utility knife. Every EDC, from whether you're opening a box or you're making a fire stick. I'll see if I've got a piece of wood. Hold on a second. I've got actually a paint stick here, but let me show you. I mean, that's how it bites in, and I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure. I'm just, like I say, I'm sitting here doing this, and it's a thick knife, but I mean, if I really wanted to, really no effort whatsoever to do something like that. So if I was out and I needed to make me a little fuzz stick for fire, I can easily do it. Like I say, very capable knife, built like a tank. Really love the shape of the blade. At first I wasn't really sure about it, but after using it, like I say, it's great. And once I put the convex edge on it, it's a scary sharp knife that, from what it was made for, self-defense, to using it as an all-around EDC blade, I highly recommend it. Like I say, this is my current favorite knife. I've been carrying this daily now for probably 6 to 7 months. The blade, I mean, I know it's got less than a 3-inch cutting blade, but the way the knife cuts, that's more than enough blade for an EDC knife, in my opinion. And with the build of this knife, like I say, it's not going to fail you. So anyway, this is a Spyderco PPT. Current favorite EDC knife. Highly recommend it. We'll pick you one up.